applique, buttons and beads. For those of us that aren't confident in stitching straight away, we've got a couple of ways of getting around stitching to put some marks on your fabric. Applique is a method whereby you cut out fabric and then you still have to sew it, but it's not quite so daunting. You can sew it down. So recall we had a harlequin pattern earlier in my book. You could make something similar to that. Or if you wanted to cut out the beetle shape, you could actually cut out the beetle shape. I'd probably recommend felt because it doesn't fray and it's easy to sew. Just secure the pieces that you cut with running stitches that we've already learnt. So starting from the back with my thread knotted, you can do smallish stitches. It's a bit tougher to get the needle through because we're going through 2 layers. We could do just one longer stitch to hold down our shape. Now depending on the size of what you're sewing down will sort of make a difference as to what you choose to use. For those of us that are a bit more confident, you could use blanket stitch to hold down, or you could do running stitch and whip it or lace it. You could just keep on building. Now, if you don't want to go the applique route, you can go the button route, which is one of my favourites. One of the fun things about this sort of method is that you get to play with lots of little bits and pieces, and I'm always a collector and a visitor of op shops. But I thought for this we might have a red spider. Now, you will see that I've already got a running stitch border, and I've just made a spider web with long stitches, and where it got a little bit loose I couched it. Now I've made a running stitch web which the spider is hanging from, and I'm now going to sew the spider body on, and he'll be sort of like a blue back spider, I guess, because I'm putting blue thread through. Okay, so I've got the spider body hanging from his web, and I've made a point of choosing a button that just has 2 sort of holes, and I'll show you why shortly. Okay, so now I've got body. Oops, sorry, forgetting. You can't see upside down as well. We'll do some legs. Maybe just some short straight stitches and give him elbows. Okay, so legs. Fairly quick to execute and lots of fun and really good for all ages. So I've hurried through and I've finished the spider and given him legs. He's having a bit of a twist, so I thought maybe we could have him attracted to something. In my beads and buttons I've got some, they're actually leaf buttons, but with a few stitches that could be a fly. We could put a dewdrop on the spider web with a sequin, and the trick with sequins is though that you need a bead to hold it down, so I'll just show you that one. I'm choosing the fat gold bead because I have, whoops, a very fat needle and it needs to be able to pass through. Right, our sequin, I'm going to hold it up, whoops, if my hand's steady enough, has a hole in the middle. I'm going to pass the needle through the back of the sequin and sit it on there, and then through my gold bead. I'm really hoping the needle will go through. It does, yay. Then I'll take the needle back through the sequin and I'll hold the bead down. Now if we were getting excited we could do maybe beads, a fly, and I would put some long stitches, long thick bundle of long thick stitches, and cover them with short stitches to make him sort of fat. In my stash of beads I also have a flower. I'll use red, it's going to be a red leaf. So we could just make a stem for the flower, a long one. Maybe some leaves. My button, check which is the front and which is the back. Put the needle through the back and stitch it down.